Good evening. Would the council please come to order? We'll be led in prayer by Pro Tem Mark Betancourt, please.
Almighty God, we ask for your blessings upon the members of this council as we assemble here in this chamber to conduct the ongoing business of our city. With your guidance, we will strive to ensure that all our decisions are for the common good, and your inspiration will instill respect, compassion, and thoughtfulness in all our deliberations. Give us the strength and wisdom to lead by example as the people's representatives, and that peace and harmony will mark all our proceedings and keep us faithful to the trust placed in us by the citizens of your community. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Alderman Joe DeLucia, please. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderman Miles won't be here.
I know what's going on. Yep. Yes, for the benefit of the public record, Alderwoman Ella Miles is not with us this evening. There was a death in her family, and she is attending to those important issues, and her sister. Thank you. Okay, in keeping with the governor's COVID-19 requirements, this public hearing is in compliance with Executive Order 7B-1, and as such, unfortunately, the general public is not able to be with us again. The phone number for people to call in, which is listed on the screen, again, is 860-215-8140, and then when you receive a prompt, you'll enter the conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. Tonight's meeting, those calls can be received in regards to those resolutions that are on our agenda. Again, only those that are on the agenda this evening. At this time, I would ask, therefore, a motion for the adoption of our minutes from July 6th and 20. Is there such a motion, please? President Pro Tem Mark Betancourt, seconded by Alderman Wilson. Is there discussion, questions, or issues? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Betancourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 6-0. Proclamation, Tribute to America.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to read this for the public record. And whereas the R.E. Hurrigan VFW Post 594 and the Ladies Auxiliary have paid tribute to America with the Silver Coronet Band honoring the veterans of all wars in Norwich, living and deceased, in the remembrance of VJ Day. And whereas this public display of patriotism was instituted by Mary Bourne when she served as Americanism chairman, thus the Tribute to America program was started over 40 years ago. It is now a recommended project of the Americanism program of the State Veterans of Foreign Wars and Ladies Auxiliary and other allied veterans groups. And whereas each year the R.E. Hurrigan VFW Post 594 and Ladies Auxiliary award citizens who show their love of country and their love of our veterans and their families by public acts of patriotism. And whereas the R.E. Hurrigan VFW Post 594 and Ladies Auxiliary continue to support the ideals and principles of the National Veterans of Foreign Wars organization by honoring God, family, and country through their efforts in the Rose City and in the nation. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Peter Albert Nystrom, and Norwich City Council President Pro Tem Mark Betancourt, on behalf of the Norwich City Council and the citizens of the city of Norwich, to hereby commend and recognize the R.E. Hurrigan VFW Post 594 and Ladies Auxiliaries for their 40 years of dedication to the veterans of the Rose City and their families, and is presented on the 7th day of August, which is this Friday evening, and I'd like to encourage all members of council to attend. The program is being held on Chelsea Parade. Social distancing will be followed, but the public is invited. Thank you.
Petitions and communication. Letter of resignation of Gary Schnipp from the Board of Dangerous Review and various committees of sale.
Motion, please, to accept. Yes, Alderman Wilson, second by Alderwoman Gould. Is there discussion? Alderwoman Gould.
I'd just like to take this time to thank Gary Schnipp for his 20 years plus of dedicated service to the city of Norwich on the Board of Review Dangerous Buildings. I know that he's transitioning to the next chapter in his career, and I wish him all the best. And he was tremendous. I've sat on this board for the last 5 years, and he was a tremendous asset to the city. We're going to miss him dearly, but I wish him all the best in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there further comment or discussion? Yes, Pro Tem Mark Bettencourt, please.
Also in that account, Gary's also been, involved with other projects. He actually was our owner's rep for the Kelly Middle School building project, and certainly in that capacity, he helped helped the project go very well, and I appreciate his service in that capacity and others for the city.
Thank you, sir. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 6-0.
Motion passes 7-0.
6.
6, excuse me. Thank you.
City Manager's report.
Thank you. This is the city manager's report for August 3rd, 2020. I have just a couple of updates since I wrote this this morning. Just want to comment on the tropical storm that is heading this way tomorrow. As everybody probably knows, we have a tropical storm warning, which means there's not much of a chance that we're going to dodge this bullet. Looks like the trajectory of the storm will take it right over the New York State, Connecticut border, which will put us on the side which will have a little less rain than right at the eye of the storm, anywhere from, they're saying 1 to 2 inches, although with bands of thunderstorms that can wrap around the system, you never quite know how much rain you might get with that. It's not unlike when they have a snowstorm and one place gets 10 inches and 10 miles away somebody gets 20. It depends where the band's set up. So we're not anticipating any flooding, knock on wood. Obviously, if we got copious amounts of rain in a short amount of time, we still could have some flash flooding, but there's no flash flood warnings or watches out for the city. Tomorrow morning, we'll decide whether the Emergency Operations Center will be activated full or partially. My gut reaction that it'll probably be activated fully. As you might know, the EOC is located at the second floor of NPU, and I always want to thank the NPU department from Chris down, who sets up that building excellently. It will be sized for social distancing, so instead of having up to 25 EOC members in that room, we'll have about 12 if we have a full implementation. The rest will either be by WebEx or phone. We're anticipating the storm to crank up in the early afternoon. Fortunately, it'll be a short duration, projected again, and should be out by 10, 11, be winding down maybe a little earlier than that. So we're not fully activating EOC until tomorrow morning. We had a EOC meeting this afternoon where all departments reported in, and we went over all the preparations that we need. At this point, we're not closing City Hall Tomorrow morning, we'll make a call of whether we want to close City Hall at noon. If the storm bears out to be what it is, that's probably something that we would do to get people out of harm's way before they get stuck here. We're anticipating 40 to 50 mile an hour winds sustained. I would think that they would be, it would gust up to 60. It's only 10 mile an hour difference between where the eye of the storm is and where we are. It's not like a snowstorm, which I don't ask many questions, but today at the governor's phone call, I did ask that question. So there's only a 10 mile an hour variation from the New York state line and us. So we can anticipate sustained 40, maybe 50, and then if we get into these bands where they have the thunderstorms, you could get that's where you would get the gusts above that. 40 to 50 sustained would be moderate tree damage, moderate to heavy. We have a very large canopy of developed trees at this point in the year. So we do expect down trees and lines. To the extent, a lot of it is luck, how the tree falls, but we think we'll have outages. We know we're one of the best in the state of correcting that, so we'll be working on that as quickly as possible. And the citizens should know that we'll be one of the first, knock on wood, to be back in service in case of the outages. All public works is set, all the tanks are full. The police and fire will be on a normal schedule until it's determined that we need to hold over either service at this point. I think that's about where we are at this point. I think there's a high confidence that we will have the storm. It doesn't look like we'll get away from this. And I normally don't do this, but I'll take any questions you might have on the storm now, or anything that I haven't answered. Yes?
So for me, the only question I have is, I know we've been doing the outdoor dining thing with many of our downtown restaurants,
Yes.
and with the winds, I know even today, the winds whipping, blowing canopies and whatnot. Have we reached out to many of those businesses to make sure that those possibly are taken down or taken care
We
of
have.
before the storm?
We did that this afternoon. I want to thank Jason, who was kind of the key liaison within CBC and the restaurants. You might note that all the restaurant canopies are down. They're not designed to withstand any kind of wind like that, and they would be, the ones here would end up in Taftville, probably airborne or something to that effect. So they're all been taken care of, and not going to lose anything tomorrow because they're not very good outdoor dining tomorrow anyway. So hopefully they'll be back in operation on Wednesday.
Alderman DeLucia.
I know that we don't, let me say that, because I don't know how we're gonna, how well we're gonna fare with the amount of rainfall. 1 to 2 inches, I don't see that as a significant flood threat, but if we get some of these bands, it
Yes.
could be concerning,
Could happen.
especially on the Annick River, right? And also on the Shetucket. So, and I know that that the chiefs, the fire chiefs, have dealt with this many times, right? But I just want to make sure that any of our apparatus that is in the floodplain, right, if we start to see a significant rise, that's part of the thought process that the EOC is to get those trucks to high ground, so to speak.
Yes. Talking to Chief Blanchard already, they relocate some of their equipment to the other side of the Antic River, and so they pre-positioned equipment on that. What we have going for us is that the riverbeds are extremely low. Although a flash flood could come even with no water in there. If you look at Arizona and something, they have gulches that fill up with no water. So if you ever get a large downpour that, let's say an inch in 20 minutes, you still could have flash floods, even though we're not directed to it. But yes, we've taken that into account on that matter.
And I know
the
that
most
we've done this
specific.
before, but I'd also be concerned about Ockham, right, backed right up to the
Yes.
to the river, right?
Yes.
And thank you, you mentioned the Sunnyside Bridge. With that bridge project ongoing,
Yes, we had a conference with them today about taking the measures to secure it and whatnot. The contractor needed to be briefed to know what to expect if there was heavy rain. So we've been working with them on preparations on that.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Other questions? John, do you wish to continue with the report or just?
Yeah, I have one other, Alderman Gould can probably answer this a lot better than me. We did have a serious fire this afternoon into this evening, a 3-story Victorian apartment, the house located in the Greenville area of the city. We had no injuries from residents there, all evacuated safely, with the exception of an unaccounted cat, I understand. I don't know. Cats are pretty smart. It's probably somewhere far away from the scene. We did have, because of the extreme heat and humidity, had a number of firefighters that needed to be relieved. We had 2 that, for precautionary reasons, at least 2 that I knew of, had to be transported to Bacchus Hospital for intravenous and other observations. They're fine. It's amazing what the intravenous will do when you're dehydrated. It really helps to that. We had a general alarm call out for all the volunteers, and it's when you see the teamwork that you really feel good. And we even had mutual aid, because at one time we had about 10 or 12 firefighters down because of the heat. We might have had more. I didn't get a report from the volunteers, so I don't know how many of the volunteers had issues or not, depending on it. I didn't get a full report before I left. But as late as like 5, the fire was still slightly involved. I don't know if it's been totally out at this point.
Yeah, it was put under control about 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And we did use our partners from the Mohegan Fast Team, New London's Fast Team, as well as the Subbase Fast Team did come in. Because of the extreme temperatures, it's very difficult to fight a fire with your gear on. It drains you very quickly.
Thank you for mentioning the mutual aid. I wasn't sure which fast teams came, and they should get the recognition that they deserve. Fast team is an appropriate name for what they do. You couldn't get any worse combination of heat and humidity today. It's the worst combination you have. We have tropical humidity and temperatures in the low 90s, and of course you have a fire, which makes it even hotter. So, and a 3-story, which makes it harder also. So, I want to thank the whole team, and it's kind of things that make me proud to be a part of the city. And I don't get to say that often publicly, so it's good that I had a chance to do that tonight. Okay, that's all I have for ad-libbing. Now the regular meeting items. I attended the meetings via conference call or video, which included Governor Lamont's update, state representatives and legislators, Region 4, Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, state COVID update, NCDC board meeting, Connecticut Conference of Municipalities regarding the police accountability proposal, which I will continue to monitor closely. Staff and I met to discuss the 8 proposals that were received for the council's proposed fire study to determine the first round finalists. Controller Josh Parthier, purchasing agent Bob Castronova, acting fire chief Keith Wudzik, and Yantic Fire Chief Frank Blanchard and I will be conducting interviews with 4 consultants via Zoom on August 5th and 6th to further narrow down the field. This is when it's good that you're doing Zoom. If we didn't have Zoom, we probably wouldn't have the interviews on Wednesday and Thursday because of travel problems. The intention is to have a recommended selection for the Public Safety Committee on the 12th. And then hopefully then that would be ready then for the council to consider on their meeting of the 17th. So that, and then go from there. The only concern I have with the, at this point is that many of the consultants are kind of uncomfortable with the 3-month deadline we put on it. So we may have to take a look at that. That'll be something we'll probe when we do the interviews on Wednesday and Thursday to see if that's the case. The Connecticut Interlocal Risk Management Agency, CIRMA, has presented to the city with its, I'm going to correct this, with its annual members' equity distribution check. It's not a guarantee, so it says annual. It's only if the agency has a good fiscal situation and good balances. But we did receive $21,195 in a check a few weeks ago. The City of Norwich and Norwich Board of Education has received a total of $119,000 in distribution members' equity since we became part of the program in 2011. So those directly offset some of the premiums we pay. Very important item, tax payments received as July 31st are as followed. Lockbox payments of 5,282 payments totaling approximately $6,339,000. And 2,106 People's United Bank in branch payments totaling $2,459,592. And this is the important part. Collection rates have been approximately the same as last July, with People's branch payments increasing by over $800,000. That's logical. People were avoiding the City Hall, and we're very happy that they availed themselves of the bank option. In-person payments during the evening hours were steady, and we would like to thank everyone for their patience. So we survived the coronavirus and the tax payments for this year, at least. For convenience now, there is a drop box for absentee ballots at the Broadway entrance of City Hall. If you have any questions, please contact the city clerk at 860-823-3732 if you have any questions. Rockin' the Dodd concerts have begun. Actually, we've had 2. Thank you to the Greater Norwich Area Chamber of Commerce and sponsors and volunteers that make the concerts and events possible during the COVID-19 epidemic. The Chamber, along with the Global Cities, will be hosting their 3rd annual car show in conjunction with First Friday events on August 7th. I assume, unless we have a lot of damage and power outages, we'll have that. We'll have to see about that by Friday. The cars will be located at the on our garage on Broadway at the upper level. They'll be putting those cars there. That's where they'll be located. So it should be a fun evening in conjunction with First Friday. And finally, the 40th annual Tribute to America program will also be held hopefully on Friday, August 7th, starting at 6:30 p.m. on Chelsea Parade. Please bring a chair or blanket and practice social distancing while you enjoy an evening of music and tributes to the USA and its heroes. And that completes my report for this evening, and I'll certainly answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, John. Other Questions, City Manager? Alderman Wilson.
Not so much a question, but I just want to go back and make a comment. You know, I know it's been a very hot last 2 or 3 weeks, and I know the fire departments have been very busy with several fires in the last few days, and I will say I had the opportunity, I live right in Greenville, to see them at work today, and I want to say definitely proud of the work that each and every department member showed today, jumping right in to do their part. It makes us proud to see them at such a high professional level, doing what they do best. So I definitely want to thank them for the hard work they've been putting in and sacrifice that they have been doing here in the city during this very hot summer compared to last summer. So I definitely want to thank them for all their hard work and keep doing just what they're doing here in the city.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Are there further questions or comments? See none. Thank you, John.
You're welcome, Mayor.
Citizen comment on resolutions.
At this time, I declare citizen comment on the 2 resolutions on our agenda to be open. If you wish to comment on either one of them, the phone number to call in is 860-215-8140. And when prompted, please use the ID number 403-8191, followed by the pound key. The lines are open. We invite you to call. Again, there are 2 resolutions on our agenda this evening. We invite you to call and comment or tell us how you feel about them. The number is 860-215-8140, followed by the conference ID 403-8191 and the pound key. This is our second request for calls. To comment on the resolutions, please dial the number 860-215-8140. And when prompted, the conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. This is the third and last request. To comment on the resolutions, please call 860-215-8140 and prompted conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. At this time, seeing no one has called in, I would declare citizen comment closed, and thank you.
New business, Resolution 1, relative to an appointment to the Norwich Golf Course Authority.
What?
Somebody on?
Now?
Okay.
May I have a motion, please, bring Resolution 1 forward? Alderwoman Gould, is there a second? Alderman Wilson, is there discussion? Alderwoman Gould?
I just want to actually thank Ray for his patience. He has wanted to serve on the Golf Course Authority for some time, and he understood that he had to wait for a resignation. And so thank you, Ray, for your patience. He's an avid golfer, lived in the city his whole life, and he will be a tremendous asset to the authority. And I wish him the best of luck.
Yes. President Pro Tem Mark
No.
Bettencourt.
In addition to that, Ray's also the member liaison to the authority now. He's been attending meetings, so he's tremendously up to speed with what's going on, and he'll hit the ground running in that role.
Thank you. Further discussion? Alderman Wilson?
I want to thank Ray for continuing to step forward and serve in this capacity. I think he brings a great deal of knowledge and business to the authority, and again, it's another Jim here in the city of Norwich stepping forward to serve, so thank him.
Thank you, sir. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 6-0.
Motion passes 6-0.
Number 2, relative to the sale of 212 Prospect Street.
Okay, a motion to bring this forward, please, and to let the body know that I have language to tell you about. I will ask for a motion to amend, but let's get it on the floor first. Alderman Gould, is there a second? President Pro Tem Mark Bettencourt. At this time, I'd like to ask for an amendment to be supported, and I will offer the language to you. Could I have a first and a second to bring that forward? Alderwoman Gould, second by Alderman Wilson. In the third paragraph, where you see the blank, please insert $30,000. In the fourth paragraph, line 4, the amount $30,000, again, please state, put in the bill, followed by, after the word to, the word tag, all capitalized, TAG Enterprises LLC. Again, that's TAG Enterprises LLC. Following the word of, it would be 14 Pepper Box Road in Waterford, Connecticut. Again, 14 Pepper Box Road, Waterford, Connecticut. Continuing on in the same paragraph, at the next blank, after the words "a deed of conveyance to," it is repeated, TAG, capital T-A-G. The next line, Enterprises LLC of 14 Pepper Box Road, Waterford, Connecticut. The amendment is now before us. Is there discussion? Seeing none, can we have a roll call on the amendment, please?
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
The amendment passes 6-0.
Motion to adjourn?
No.
Oh,
What do we got now?
we have to vote on the resolution as
Oh,
amended.
jeez.
Is there further discussion on the resolution as amended? Yes, President Pro Tem Mark Bettencourt.
One question, I've been doing these for years, to be honest with you, and I kind of embarrassed that I'm even asking this question, but is there a reason why they come to us all the time, blank like this with the numbers?
They do, because sometimes there's a last-minute withdrawal of the number, and we, in case there's any adjustments, we'd rather have it, prepared once than do it again.
Okay.
It's abundance of caution.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? We have the roll, please?
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Motion passes 6-0.
Now?
Is there-
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Alderwoman Gould. Is there a second? President Pro Tem Mark Bettencourt? Okay. Oh, you had your hand up.
Alderman
Oh,
DeLucia?
sorry.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
Yes.
He's thinking about it.
President Pro Tem
He wants to
Bettencourt?
stay.
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Motion passes 6-0. We are adjourned.